Hello everyone, this is Psychodap and I'll be doing a little tips and tricks tutorial video on how to create animations in Dreams. Uh, this is gonna be the very first video I'm doing, this kind of video. Never done it before, but I uploaded a little bit of animation I've been working on to Twitter. It gained some traction and people have been asking me if I could do some kind of tutorial for them, so they could also better understand how to create animations. So I thought, why not? Um, Before we start, I just want to say that I'm gonna uh, put my phone on mute so it isn't distracting. Is that I'm a noob. I really am a noob. I just do as I try to do as good as possible. I haven't done any animations before, not until the Dreams closed beta started earlier this year, and I got in. That's the first time I've been doing any kind of animations, and it took a lot of time to understand the basics. Which brings me to another point, and that's that I'll not be going in depth in all the tools. Everything is explained in game in the tutorial, so I advise people to first go into the game, go to the tutorial section, watch the tutorials on animating, doing animations, and then maybe watch this video to get a little bit a couple of pointers that might not really be explained in the tutorials, and some things I figured out for my own because I've spent as a noob I spent a lot of time trying to get things to work, and turns out that in previous versions of this animation I had been using the wrong character model. Nothing against the character model, it was a pirate made by Plastic Duck. What is I think his name is something like that. Amazing character model, but it wasn't the right one for this kind of animation. It just didn't suit the motions. So that made me realize a lot of mistakes I made, and which is good because for a lot of people it will be trial and error, and you always learn new stuff. So even in this video, it's possible that I just mess things up and have to redo some stuff, and it's gonna be real time. Can be a bit of a drag at times. I think I'll see if I can edit it on my PS4, but not sure about that. And yeah, like I said, this is the first time I'm doing anything like this, so I'll be going off script, editing in real time. Sorry if it can be a bit boring at times, maybe skip a bit if you want, and if things are unclear or whatever, just put questions in the comments, feedback in the comments, and I'll read it, try to answer it as good as possible. And before I start rambling, let's just get into it. This was the animation in the background, and let's go into edit mode. And first thing you see is the timetable, the timeline, sorry, with all the keyframes for this animation. Actually, for those that have seen it on Twitter, it was a small part. It was about half of it. I've been working on it a little bit more, and right now I'm gonna do the last movement, or the second to last movement, and it's pretty much finished. The rough version, and the coming days I'll be trying to tweak it and maybe make something nice for environment, which I'm also not good at. I haven't done it like sculpting or whatever, or doing environments is something I haven't even done at all yet, so that's gonna be challenging. But yeah, this is the video. Now we can really move around and see what's happening. This is the new part that people haven't seen yet, probably. And that's the end, is where we'll be picking up for the final movement. Okay, so what we're gonna do is it's probably explained in the tutorials, but this is how you shorten or extend the duration of an animation. But this is probably for those wondering, because the reason why I'm doing this video is because some people have asked if I could show them how I got the animations to run smoothly, and that mostly comes down to this. How long you make animation move. If you go into this mode with L1 and square, you get into the menu for the keyframes themselves, and here you can see the blend types to blend the movements, like linear, pretty straightforward. Here you can blend both, like really blend them. Yeah, it's self-explanatory if you just look at it. I usually prefer this one. This is the one I think I used most for this animation, and maybe that's why it runs so smoothly, because it just blends everything together. And here you can I have it set to 50 because, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm a noob. I don't really know that much. It's really limited, so for now I'm just using basic stuff. And as I go on, and as you will probably do too, you'll learn new things, you discover new things, and you get more experienced, and then you can tweak your animations and make them like as good as possible. And this is for springiness. Yeah, it's springiness. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so recalibrate. Drifting, the cursor drift is a bit annoying at times, but I hope they fix that sometime. Anyway, this is the last movement I did, and I noticed that it's a bit of a weird angle for an arm to be in. So I have to correct this real quick, because I can't be having weird yes, this is it. Sorry about this, but I really need to correct this real quick, otherwise the animation will be a bit weird. Okay, this was a bit boring. Okay, we're gonna start here. I didn't copy it yet, so next thing I'll do is copy the last stance. I'm just gonna call them stances, like in Kung Fu, where you have different stances. I'm just gonna call them stances for this video. We're gonna do the final thing, and most important thing that you want to do for an animation is before you do anything, know what you're going to do. That's probably the biggest tip I can give. Like myself, I practiced kung fu for 8 to 10 years, and I know these movements like I can dream them and I can breathe them, you know. So sometimes I just get up, like just now, and I just reenact the movement. It's gonna be weird if you're using aliens and maybe you're using alien and you do some flying stuff. You can reenact that, but this you can. Yeah. So figure out what the movement is, what steps to take, and try to visualize it for your character on screen. Yeah. Some movements require multiple motions to complete the entire movement, the entire animation. And I'll for the next movement I'll use one secondary animation. So it's going to be 2 steps. So I have right now, as I'm speaking, that's why you see my imp moving all across the screen, because I'm trying to see how the movement goes, and I've figured it out already, so that's nice. It's always nice. So that's step 1. Now what we're gonna do is go into step 2. Everything you do has effect on the entire body. Every little detail affects the other one. That's the most interesting part about the human body. And now all I need to do is make sure that his body is in the correct position. Yes, that's it. Went rather smoothly this time. Sometimes I can get stuck on this like for a really long time, like horribly. And that's also an important thing, because if you want to make it feel natural, you have to try and keep body weight in mind, because you know, yeah, that's what I meant. Because if you want to do an animation, you have to reenact it, because you need to know the position of the body. You know, if I get into this stance with kung fu, you need to know how your body shifts in order to keep the balance. Because if you do anything out of the ordinary, how do you want to call it, people will notice it immediately, and the animation will feel unnatural. The movement feels unnatural. So that's why it's really important to know what you're gonna do. What is the movement I want to create, and then translate it into the game. That's probably the stance. Yes, it is. I need him to be a bit. If you're gonna stand like this in real life, you might twist your knee, so that's it doesn't matter because for the video it's just I don't have to need to have it perfect. Anyway, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so that's why I might be taking a bit longer with this. Well, it's not really even necessary for this video. But as you can see, you have to change the entire body. To get a natural stand. See, this is the first one. And then we just have to do one final. Yeah, this is good for now. Sorry it took a bit longer than I wanted to. But this is the first step for the animation, and then we're gonna exit edit mode real quick and copy this. Luckily the final one isn't that difficult because it's just there we go, it's almost done right now. And here, if we switch between the animations, you can see, you can already see the movement. Yes, okay. What we're gonna do now is to just focus on this animation. Just grab this with square, drag it all the way to where your animation starts, and I think it's here. Let's just put it here, and then, because this is the ending. There's another one over here that you can drag, but since this is the end of the timeline, I can just drag the end of the timeline and exit edit mode, and we can see this. That's the animation, and now all we're gonna do is tweak it. The final stance, I'm just gonna do make him hold the position a bit longer. And this is the important part. This is something that needs to be shortened, because this is a transitional move, a secondary move, and you can just make it shorter so it less time consumed, so it you notice it less, but it's there, and it does create a natural flow. And as you can see, you can move it. If you the further away you put it, the longer the transition takes. So if you do this, it's gonna have something like a I need to leave edit mode, and you get a slow motion effect. And if you can do it in real time, and if you can put it closer, it's just gonna snap. If you want to go for that snap, you just put it almost next to it, and then you get the snappy movement. And then you just have to tweak this a bit further, this over here, and now you get this movement. And I think this is pretty much the movement I want for myself. And you can just figure it out for your what for your taste, like what's the animation you want to make, how fast does it need to snap, do you want slow motion effect. I'll probably be later down the line, if I'm ever gonna do like choreography fights, fighting choreography, would be cool to know that you can do a slow motion effect. You just need to have the body position to create slow motion effect. I don't want it for this video, but there you go. This is how you create like this kind of animation. I hope it's a bit clear. I've tried my best. It's the first time I've done this, so watch tutorials. Keep in mind like some tips that I try to give, or maybe for those that didn't watch the tutorials, if you highlight, if you just put your imp on like this keyframe, you hold L1, press square, you get into the menu for the keyframe, and here you can blend types. For my video I used ease, but did I already do this? I don't even know. Maybe I did. If I did, you can just skip it and end the video here, because this is the end. But yeah, that's it. Keep changes. This is important for. I think it can be important. And this is slow down power and stuff. And I already done this. I just realized, so skip. And that's it. A bit amateuristic. Like I said, if there are more questions, just leave them in the comments. If you have feedback, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, hit a like. If you don't like it, dislike. At least I hope I could help some people with this. And I'll be finishing up my video over the weekend, my animation, or at least the animation, tweak it a bit, maybe create some surroundings and stuff. And good luck, and I hope to see your creation soon. So peace.